These are the drivers that live by the grace of God, and 600 horsepower. The modifieds are green, and the Hayes Jewelers 200 is underway.
And Burt Myers did not waste any time. He jumped right off that initial start to get the lead ahead of Brandon Ward. Tim Brown will settle into third. Lee Jeffries and Chris Fleming in a good battle for that fourth spot. But the front three already single file, trying to make it happen early. Fleming gets around the outside of Lee Jeffries. He'll take the fourth spot. Jeffries back to fifth, and Danny Bone rides in the sixth position.
Green flag is back out. Lap number 54 ticks away as they cross the line. Side by side for third and fourth position. The number 57 with a power move on the outside. Slams the door on Tim Brown. Contact. Brandon Ward goes up the racetrack.
Everybody stacked up there. They're all sideways trying to sort it out as Tim Brown, I think, is going to end up the big winner of that. He just about clipped the right front of Chris Fleming's machine and only stayed off it by mere inches, but now he's got fourth position. But Danny Bone in all of that was able to get around Brandon Ward to get to second as you got a battle between John Holloman and Lee Jeffries. Jeffries has the spot. Holloman wants it.
They'll tick the line at 64. Burt Myers gets the jump. Here comes the number 57, Bone on the outside. Bad to the bone. He sends it into the north turn on the outside. Trouble behind him. John Holloman hard into the wall in turn number 3, and so is the number 7J of Junior Snow. The Myers family has a great racing lineage. Let's take a look at the replay here. You see the 83 chopped down. That stacks up to 16, which backs up to 75, which backs up Butner, which causes that whole deal. The good old polka wreck. Burt Myers in the lead.
Caution flag is out again as they pack it in a little bit further back. Skip Flores ran right over the left-hand side of that first machine. Stopped there, and the yellow flag comes out for the 7th time.
And Stimson got slammed right there in the right side of his car. Hard impact to the driver of the number 54 machine as his car is disabled. Jimmy Brown right there to the aid of that driver, making sure he is A-OK. And that was a tough deal. Let's look at this secondary replay. This is going to be a good view here on Flow Racing. Contact right there, and modifieds are open wheel race cars, and that's what happens when you make contact wheel to wheel in one of these rocket ships. The 3-tap rule. Teddy Christopher kind of made that famous, and there's another tap. That's his third, and you watch a little defense right there. The 57 backing his exit off the corner, playing defense right there. That was incredible driving by the 157. He's no slouch. He knows what Tim Brown's doing, trying to use the bumper there to get him to run harder. Look at him stopping in the corner right there to try to play defense.
This is mind games at its best between two former track champions here at the Madhouse. These are two drivers that have been to victory lane, who have done it well, who are approaching lap 170. We are not far away from the final 30 laps of this event, and Danny Bone is trying for everything to hang on to second spot, but Tim Brown is only making it harder and harder and harder and harder, and Bone got a little bit sideways out in the corner, and maybe this is where the big bump comes that sends Danny Bone. Not yet, but here comes Tim Brown, and still he hasn't been able to get to the inside of Bone's machine. Showtime.
Coming to 6 to go when we cross the line. Myers on the inside, Brown on the outside. Brown's going to fight him tooth and nail on the outside. He's got the bit between his teeth right now, grinding it out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway they go, charging to the outside of Myers. Now Myers drifts up. The 83 has to get to the bottom, and he does.
That was beautiful work from Brandon Ward just behind these two to cross up Chris Fleming and get third. Brilliant, brilliant stuff for the New Day Motorsports driver to make it happen, get P3, but it's still Burt Myers and still Tim Brown at the front of this field at 196 on the board.
Burt Myers leads. The fans now feel the anticipation of what could happen in the closing stages of the Hayes Jewelers 200. Burt Myers leads the way. He's got about a car length advantage coming up on some lap traffic. Brandon Ward behind him gets sideways, loses some spots. Give P3 to Chris Fleming.
Leaders are clear of lap traffic. Lap 198 clear. It's the top two, and then everybody else fighting it out behind them. This is going to be Burt Myers versus Tim Brown for the win at Bowman Gray in the 49th Hayes Jewelers 200.
The white flag is out. The fans are on their feet around the famed quarter mile. Two legends dance down the backstretch. One of them will come out of the north turn a winner. Jumping up and down are the fans. Burt Myers, his 11th Hayes Jewelers 200.